What is up, YouTube? Okay, so I finally figured out what all this mess is all over the manifold. You can see it going down the side of the block. And the other clue is it's going down the front of the block pretty hardcore. And that's the water pump leaking. I also deduced that because I was never losing any oil, but I was always having to add water. So I have a International Renewed water pump. There's our part number right there. That's for the older DTs. So the newer 360s and 466s used a water pump like a car has. I mean, a fan clutch like a car has. Whereas this one has this 6-bolt water fan clutch. You can see these bolts right here, you pull those and then the fan just comes off and I can slide the fan into the shroud. So we're gonna undo the, we're gonna take the belts off. I actually have a new belt. I think it's in the bus too for the compressor, but this one is still really good. To loosen the compressor, it's gonna be undo this bolt, and then this actually slides it forwards and backwards. So I'm gonna undo that and slide it forward so I can get the belt off. And then for the alternator, I'm going to undo this top bolt here, loosen the bottom bolt right here, and then slide it forward, and then I can take the 2 alternator belts off. Those are going to need replacing soon, it looks like. So I need to get a set. The 7.3 belts were too small. I was going to reuse those, but nope, they're too small. I do have them, but they're of no use. So we'll go ahead and get started on that, and then after I actually before I take the belts off, I'm going to loosen the pulley bolts there on the fan clutch. That way I can get those out. But it should be pretty easy. It's not going to be I know I didn't shoot video, but I did Caleb Garza's 444 bus not long ago, and that was a hassle. We had to actually we took the hood off, the radiator and intercooler out, and we had to undo the radiator and intercooler plumbing on his. Mine is really simple. Unlike most car water pumps or regular water pumps, you have fittings for your heater hoses and whatnot, and those don't actually go on this pump. It literally is just, what, 7 bolts right there, 7 or 8 bolts holding it to the engine, and that's it. And then we got a brand new gasket here. And then I also went and got 2 gallons of antifreeze. The bus holds 6 gallons altogether, but I'm not going to drain the system because that's fairly new antifreeze. So I'm going to just drain what I have to take the pump out. So that's 2 gallons, you know, plus we'll add 2 gallons of water. That's 4 gallons. That should be plenty. And then I got this for those of you DT owners or people that are interested in owning a DT. You do need to add this from time to time. It is included in your coolant filter. My coolant filter is not that old though, but the coolant filter hangs right there. So it probably needs to be changed soon, but that's the additive to prevent cavitation. What happens is, since this is a wet sleeve motor, your antifreeze, if you get some electrolysis going on in it, and if for whatever reason you don't treat the coolant correctly, what'll happen is it'll start attaching, you'll get bubbles attaching themselves to the sides of the cylinder sleeves, and when they pull away, they pull pieces of the metal with it, and then before long you have holes in your cylinder sleeves. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this water pump. More to come. Okay, first thing you need to do, which I didn't mention, or I might have mentioned, is these bolts right here are the ones you're going to crack loose. You notice I got them all nice and loose now. What I ended up doing, this is a 9/16 wrench, and I had to put the pipe on it and actually hold the motor. Reason you do that first is because if you take the belts off first, then that pulley will spin freely, and then you'll have a hell of a time getting those off. Unfortunately, the sockets are too long to fit in there, and a socket wrench won't fit. So got to do it the old-fashioned way with some muscle power. But anyway, all right, more to come in a second. All right, to loosen the air brake compressor, you have 4 bolts on the underside, one there, right there, one towards the back, which you can kind of see behind the belt here. There it is right there. And then 2 on this side, on the underside, you can see them. One in the front, one in the back. So you loosen those with a 9/16 wrench. And then this bolt right here, you're gonna turn it counterclockwise, and it's gonna slide this box right here forward, which is the belt tensioner, and it'll slide the whole compressor forward. And that's how you loosen the belt up. More to come. All right, so for the alternator, the bottom bolt and the top bolt, 3/4 inch. So I had to use the cheater pipe to undo that back bolt with the front bolt. I got everything loose, and as you can see, the bolts are hanging out of the fan clutch there. So now I just need to get the hub off, the belts and the hub off, and then we can start taking the water pump off. All right, so we got our pump off. Got 2 long bolts right here that go on the bottom 2 bolts, which I don't remember where they are, but you can tell it's not supposed to clank like that. So this one was done. We'll go ahead and get the new one in here. All right, she's changed. So these bolts right here that held the fan clutch on, they were a terrible pain in the butt to get loose, but we'll go ahead and crank her up. I didn't have any leaks. I idle her. There we go. She's not vibrating. The belts look good. No leaks. Really? Nice and dry. We're good to go.